This crowd comes to know have on this rusty shooter tonight. The line of yeah, man, it's Jim.
It's a back pass with Rise on the mic. Talking for these stories, keeping vibes real tight. Legends and laughter, you know the drill. Back pass with Rise. Football, better and chill.
From SG to the region, we cover the game. Big names, small clubs, the passion's the same. Stories from the pitch and the ones untold.
Back pass with Rise,
where the beautiful game unfolds.
Welcome to a brand new episode of Backpass with Ras, with your host Ras here, bringing to you a brand new episode. I hope you are all well, wherever you are listening and watching this episode. On this episode, I've got a guest who has played for various clubs in the S League, but most notably, he was part of the 1994 Malaysia League and Cup double winning team. It's none other than Mr. Ramoo. How are you doing, Ramoo?
Hey, I'm great. Thank you. How are you doing, Russ?
I'm doing good. Thank you for being on the show. We're going to walk you down memory lane today. I hope you'll enjoy it. Not sure if you've seen this trend that's going on social media where they ask, dad or mom, what were you like in the 90s? Have you seen that?
I kind of, but not totally.
Yeah. So then it goes into the 90s. But anyways, this show is always about that, bringing people back to the 90s and the noughties. So first of all, before we go back to that era, let's talk about today. What are you doing today nowadays?
Actually, while you may know about my football past, I actually hold a professional job. I work with SPH Media.
Okay.
And I am around with them for 33 years.
Oh.
That is my first job. Yep, and I've still been around with them. Pursued human resources, and I'm now a HR practitioner for a good 17, 20 years.
Okay, so with SPH for 33 years, that would have been the 90s then when you started working with them.
Yeah.
So this is really an interesting overlap.
Yeah.
So let's unfold this now.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So what it means is that, I'm not sure if you're aware back then, right? The moment for myself, the moment we are off NS, right? The first thing we would like to do is either you pursue your degree or you get a job, right? Because you want to you want to get some job stability, right? So that's totally what was on my mind then. Straight after NS, that was like something like in around November of the year, and then that was 1992. Yeah, 1992. That was towards the tail end, right? And then November end, I was with Tiong Bahru Premier League, playing with the likes of Terry, Jang Jung. So we were doing very well then, and I just reached out to Terry, my captain, and asked him, "Hey, would there be a job opportunity since I'm going to back then it's ROD, right?" So yeah, and then he said, "Okay, I can link up," because he was with SPH then, and if you remember, SPH was very into football or sports generally.
Yeah,
I was blessed. I got an opportunity with SPH right away. 3 interviews with different companies. Eventually, I started with I went to join SPH right away. A little bit of short stint which I would like to discount here, but a 2-month stint at Hong Kong Bank, because then you are not sure. You may have a few offers here and there, and then I thought, Hong Kong Bank, we needed money, right? Hong Kong Bank paid me a little more. And I said, okay, I'll take up the offer. To my surprise, right? 2 weeks later, I got a call I've not shared this with anyone. You're the first to listen to this.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So 2 months into the job, right? 2 weeks into the job, I get a call from a very football enthusiast team manager. He holds a professional job in SPH, but he runs the SPH football team by the name of Chris. I can't remember his surname, but it could be Kristan or something. So he contacted me and he said, and he was looking for me via my Hong Kong Bank office line, you know.
Oh.
That already, you know, I got taken aback. And then my first question is, Chris, how did you get hold of me? And he said, if I wanted, if there's a way, there's a will, right? So
Oh.
if there's a will, there's a
Okay.
way, right? So he like, okay, you know, then he realized I didn't accept the offer then, and he asked if I could reconsider.
Mm.
Yeah, and then I'm not sure, you know, Hong Kong Bank was my first choice. For the very first, the best reason is the salary, lah, right?
Mm.
But things were not as easy as I thought it would be.
Okay.
Because I was pursuing my football as a you know, into the next stage, right? I've not broken into the national team yet.
Yeah.
And then I was like, it was a bit difficult.
Mhm.
And then when SPH counter offered me, and then I felt that, that could be, they gave me the avenue to train and all that, which I felt that I may not be able to do with the former.
Hong Kong
So I
Bank.
thought, okay, why don't I just chance upon, and I went for another interview, and then the offer was slightly improved,
Mm.
better terms, like releasing me for training and all that, and they actually honored that. Yeah, and then I started with SPH thanks to Terry and Chris, my team manager.
What was your first role there in SPH?
Actually, I was, you know, I didn't hold a degree then, yeah. So I was just an administrative assistant.
Okay.
Blessed to even get a job, lah. You know, then it's not
Yeah.
easy, but we get a job. But so blessed because with that I grew, right, where I am now, right?
Mm.
And that allowed me to actually pursue my football while I was holding a job.
Mm.
I'm not sure how many could do this, but I had the opportunity and I thought I took it quite well, and I've not resigned. Thanks to some advisors that I got along the way, you know, that since I'm already holding a job, why do I want to, you know, go on to full time, right? Why don't I sign a part-time contract? So that was 93. I went in, I was playing in Tiong Bahru, and then I got a few opportunities to knock into the national team, but just things didn't just work out because of, you know, when you go for trial, either you're injured or when you're doing well at the league. I was slapped with a motorbike accident while I was
Oh
at
my God.
Stafsa, and then that was my second opportunity. And
How
then
long
one
did
of the
that motorbike accident keep you out for?
out for a good 6 months or so, because it was a collarbone fracture, and
Okay.
I was in the army, right? So
Okay.
you can't play, you can't be, you know, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So it's
that took
MC
me
means
out.
MC.
Yeah, took me out. And then the other was I went for a trial under Ken Warden.
Mm-hmm.
I thought things were going well, and then at the trial, I have to pull my hamstring, and then off it goes. You're
No.
gone. And then finally, I got my opportunity in '94 while I was still playing at Tiong Bahru. So
Okay.
grateful to Tiong Bahru because that's where I actually, you know, played regularly.
Mm.
And then somewhere in June, because Malaysia Cup, I think they have windows where you can register.
Yeah.
So there was some deregistration and registration. So I got into the team in the middle of the league lah.
Mm.
Yeah, that was somewhere in June, and the rest is history lah. Technically lah. Yeah, that's
So
how I knocked into national team. Yeah.
the Ken Warden period where you pulled your hamstring, that would
Yeah.
have been at the start of the season, before the season even started,
That
pre-season.
is probably, but that was probably a year before. That could be probably in
In that same, it
'93
was the
lah.
same
Yeah,
season. So the
yeah,
year before was PN Sivaji was the coach.
probably. Yeah.
Yeah. So then Ken Warden. So, um, how did, or rather, who spotted you playing for Tiong Bahru then?
Good question. I actually started my football before Tiong Bahru was with Tampines Rovers, which were in the National Football League. Back
Yeah.
then, you know, National Football League is like the second rung to your Premier League, right?
Mm.
But because of the talent pool we used to have, NFL was just as competitive. So I was playing with Tampines, for about 2 seasons. And then I got an opportunity to play in. No, I went army, right? Then army, I managed to get a call up for SAFSA. Prior to SAFSA, I got called up for pre-Olympics. I think during that period, pre-Olympics. So Coach Sivaji was my coach. I think they wanted to do a revamp or introduce new players during the pre-Olympic preparation. That was in 90. The pre-Olympic was in 92, so we were preparing at about 1991.
Yeah.
So that's when I'm getting into the team lah. Technically, prior to that, Rash, I was a nobody until I got a call up by Sivaji.
Okay.
Because I was playing in after Tampines, there was no. See, sometimes it's about opportunities, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's about people introducing, those kind of things, right? Back then, there are talent scouts, but it's if you really are just a player in the street or something, it's very difficult to get to that main, team and all that, even at youth stage. Somehow I don't know, I got that opportunity. I never let it go. I really thought this is the only, because when I was young, we have the Milo schemes and all that. I was never in any of the main teams until I joined the pre-Olympic squad.
Okay.
And when I was under Sivaji, I would never miss a training. I would never. And then probably within 6 months, I managed to get into the first team.
Okay.
And
you entered in the first team. So when you got a call up to join this team, by then they were probably were already doing quite well in the league, and you got a call up. I'm sure you must have been catching up on them on TV, watching, or would have gone to the stadium to watch.
Yeah.
So when you got that call up, what was your first reaction?
Actually, we like I said, I missed 2 times, right? The boat, right?
Yeah.
But this is like you got to grab it, right? And just so excited, right? But actually, if you bring it back a few years, right? Before that, when you're playing amateur, and then when you're amateur, you always, as a boy, right? You always go to the stadium. Just a few years back, right? You're going to stadium, watching these guys actually play, and just few years, right? Your fortune just changes, and then you're actually alongside them in the league, and next you're in the national team. So you can imagine, the euphoric feeling, right? That you just can't explain. And the thing is that why while you're excited, right? It's actually just normal. Do you know why? The guys, no matter how big a star they are, the likes of Fandi, Malik, to even the young ones, right? Nobody has got any air around them. They're just anyone you can approach, speak. So it's easy to get into the team.
Okay.
In terms of training and all that.
Anyone that took you under their wing and guided you specifically, or gave you extra guidance, or you could seek advice from at any time?
Like what I told you earlier, they are all so forthcoming that that you don't have to speak to one particular or two particular individuals. Everybody is just there. And like I said, I played in Tiong Bahru prior, so I would have the Jangjungs and Jangjung is the only one I can remember, but there are others who I've played with together. So it's like quite easy to get accustomed to the players and whatnot lah.
Okay.
No one specific individual, but like I said, they're all superstars, but gem of a character guiding you. Yeah.
So nothing too rough in your initiation. No, they didn't get you through any initiation process. Sing a song or something.
No, nothing of that sort. Yeah.
Okay.
It was just happy.
Pretty smooth transition then into the first team.
Yeah.
All right. Any nickname you were given?
No nicknames. Yeah.
No nicknames
we just go
either.
by our names. Yeah.
All right. And what was your family's reaction when they found out that you were here with them?
My parents are rather old, right? So it's more that probably my siblings. My
Mm.
probably as a parent they're elated lah, but they're not so much into the thing, right? It's just that they always provide you the support and what you need as a child, right?
Mm.
But of course you can see that naturally they're happy, but it is more my siblings because they are the ones who actually have played the game. But probably I'm the only one who from the family made it to the
Okay.
national team, right? Yeah. So where we grew up or played our football is Farrer Park lah. Uh, so probably the Farrer Park fraternity is also like all as a family, all happy for one another, right? Because if one breaks from there to be in the national team, it's like joy for everybody lah. So it's not just family, but it's the brothers who are together with you in that growing stage, right? Because if not
Okay.
for them, you wouldn't be what you are, right?
True.
Football is about exposure.
Mm.
I really think the difference is that at 18, 19, you play with the NFL guys, right? Even because Farrer Park is like every pitch is occupied.
Yeah.
Every pitch is occupied, every pitch is full of spectators.
Yeah.
Right? So when you play in those kind of amateur football, you're just surrounded by very good players. Naturally, at the age, exposure playing with older guys just takes you to a different level. It's just natural. I don't know, naturally you get better.
Okay. Any match that is memorable that stands out in your memory?
In national team, I would say not match specific, but the places that we've gone, like for SEA Games, Malaysia Cup one would be I think the one that we had a hostile reception would be Brunei.
Brunei.
Whatever
Okay.
reason but that was I think the last match of the M
The
League.
last match of the season. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I don't know why we couldn't leave the stadium for a while. There's one, and the rest are places are like in preparation we have gone to Iran, which is now the talk of the town.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then during pre-Olympic we have gone to even North Korea in China. So interesting facts are football has taken us to places that probably
You
some
wouldn't have
of
gone.
us
Yeah.
couldn't have gone. Yeah. So North
Okay.
Korea.
So
When
in
you say
time,
North Korea, people say, North Korea.
yeah. What was that experience like in North Korea?
Actually, when you're young, you don't know a lot about you don't travel much, right? But
Okay.
if you think back, like it's really like very outdated, right? Even then it's like really very old, very backdated kind of but they're very you can see on the streets it's like someone is always with some weapon or whatnot. It's like well guarded lah.
Okay. And in terms of hostile grounds, you told us about Brunei. With the national team, any ground particularly that was hostile?
No, not hostile. It's just that very competitive, like in Chiang Mai SEA Games, and then
95 SEA Games you played in that as well, right?
yeah, I was part of the team. Yeah,
Yeah, finishing third.
yeah, that's
In,
one of the medals lah that we can talk about. Yeah,
Yeah, true.
yeah.
Okay, before that, let's talk about the 94 one. I think quite a lot of people want to know about that. I actually have a question here about 94 one.
Sure.
From Satria Mera, how does it feel then to be part of the legendary 1994 double winning team?
I mean, feeling is always euphoric because I think we never won it for 14 years. I think that's the timeline, if I'm not wrong. I think back in 80 and then 94. And it's the talk of the town, right? Because we have never won and it was big hoo-ha after winning it. And in fact, after there's so much crowd at Shah Alam. And then when we came back at Potter's Field, and then after that, there were, if I'm not wrong, I think even the National Stadium was, they had fans and we had...
Yeah, you had a parade in the National Stadium.
Yeah, so it's just... You never dream that these things happen to you, right? Yeah. So
you've kept the medals, I guess.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Okay. This is something I am wondering as well. you've had this momentous occasion, won the double. Was there a party, a private players party, or players and family after to celebrate that victory?
I cannot remember whether there was a private party, but definitely there were quite a number of celebrations because that's like big thing happening in the
Yeah.
because they were trying to win it, I think, from 92, 93, and somehow they just failed at the last stage or something along the lines. But 94 just happened. So it's really right, like, yeah, but I cannot remember specifically if you asked to that question. I can't remember, but there were lots of celebration. That's why I can't pinpoint one that you were referring to. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay. And this team is special to many Singaporeans. Until today, people regard it very highly, even higher than all those teams that won the AFF Cups. Despite that being a regional tournament that they've won versus this is just a cross-border league and cup. What makes this team, in your opinion, what makes this team so special?
Actually, it's the fans, right? It's the fans. Of course, the quality, the football they want to see was what was delivered on the pitch, right? And the winning speaks for itself, right? But I think back then the culture was very different. If I think if you are talking about AFF, it was like in the later part of
90s, yeah. 98 was the first one, and then in the 2000s, yeah.
And I think 98 was not too bad. But if you're talking about later, right, I think the focus of football just, I think, kind of shifted a little. There were less followings. I don't know why. As league started, 96, it was still very popular.
Yeah.
And we had very good foreign slate of foreign players, coming here. So I thought the league was only getting better right there from the start. So, but I don't know what shifted. So if you're asking specifically, right, but it's just that I think a lot of following, and that made everything very special in the 94, especially with the icing on the cake of the winning the championship and rather the doubles.
So from the highs, let's talk about the lows. Any major disappointment that you felt when you were playing with the national team?
I thought I could have continued further. So if you remember, if I go back to where I started, I was actually working and playing.
Yeah.
Right? I was holding a full-time job and I was training. Either if we have morning training and then evening, right? So it was never easy holding a job and still, doing football as part-time, if you may say, right? My biggest regret was not being able to continue because I just tend to be getting injured at the wrong time, because at national team, you got to be available, right? But it's just that somehow I tend not to get the playing opportunity because I'm probably going to be featured, and then I probably the week before I may have just pulled my groin or hamstrings. So that was just my story technically during my football years.
And that period with the national team, I think it lasted about a year, I guess. Was it, or a bit longer than that?
No, longer. I was from 94 to 97 probably. Yeah. So
you basically just missed out on the 98 team then.
Yeah.
Were you close to getting into that squad?
Probably not 98 because I thought the 96, 97, 96 was actually also one of my highlights because we went for a competition at Vietnam, but it was not. It was a mix of some main team, and then some second singers. And we used to participate in the. I'm not sure how you pronounce the name. There was some league cup tournaments in Vietnam, which under Barry. Then we used to participate in that competition. We actually won that, and I actually did very well at that competition. So I thought that was the change because after 94, 95, 96, I did well. I thought I would continue. Somehow things didn't work out. In 96, when we went into S League, I missed some S League matches because of injuries, like I told you. So it's like, because when you don't have a full-time national team. Back then we had a full-time national team, right? Like 94. When S
Yeah.
League started, it was you play in the S League and then you get called up.
Yeah.
Then slowly I just missed that chances because I was not playing that regularly in S League because of injuries here and there. Lah. Yeah.
Okay. For the younger listeners that are listening in,
Mm.
can you just share with them which position you play in?
Oh, I started as fullback.
Yeah.
That was my start lah in the amateur football or Tampines, as I said. And then I went under Sivaji. I was at centre back. Then I just along the way I progressed to midfield. So I actually technically play anywhere in the back, any position in the back, and I can also play anywhere in the middle. So these were
Utility player.
yeah, you can call that lah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right. So in terms
sometimes
of
it's
like
good to have that. Yeah.
on the pitch, when you were playing on the pitch, any player that you had a good tandem with?
Mm, tandem. When you say tandem, it's in terms of the
Good
during
understanding, good understanding on the pitch.
Mm, ne- uh, I mean, naturally, if you play with if I'm a centre back, it would be
Yeah.
my fellow, centre backs, right?
Yeah.
Not exactly one person I can say, but it's just like you mentioned earlier, because you can play either the back four or in the middle, so it's like it's easy to play with anybody at that level, actually, right? And most of them are actually way senior than you, but they make it so easy to play alongside them. Lah. Yeah, yeah.
And who were some of the toughest opponents you faced as a team and individuals as well?
Actually, Thailand is always not easy to play.
Yeah.
During preparation, we were in Iran. Iran is big, tall, tough. These are people but no specific individuals to identify here. But in terms of teams, these are not easy. And of course, if you're talking about those, pre-Olympics time, right? It's China and North China is a nightmare to play against.
Okay, why is that so?
Because they are huge, technically very strong, tall. Yeah, so they're very very sound with their understanding, right? All they do, right, is just play down the flank. Somebody just plays the ball, high ball up, like what we used to have the John Hunter.
Yeah.
Then he knocks down. Somebody just swings, and then it's so well coordinated and trained. It's like they're training, They are at a training pitch, and then they're just executing it actually against you, Yeah, so you know why they are where they are, and so it's
You felt helpless at that time? When you faced this kind of opponents, you felt helpless?
because firstly, there's no way you can challenge because they are already like one or two, hits above you, and they don't even have to jump, right? Because you can visualize how you play against a John Hunter if you're not tall. How do you even manage? Or even I think Tiong Baru had that Nicolo
Boucher.
remember the tall
Nicodeme Boucher.
Nicodeme Boucher. It's you need a sassy. Right? So sometimes it's not everybody who's get that. Even if you have the height, they just
Okay, let's move on to the time in the S League then. So in the S League, you first played for Balestier Central.
I did.
Okay, so walk us through your time in the S League from the start till the end.
Okay, so 96 was S League. Like I mentioned earlier, first year in S League did not start too well. I had some groin and issues, and then I was not starting much. And that was actually a year when I was just, I was actually part of the national team, and then it just didn't work out. And
Going back to the injuries, do you know what the root cause was for the injuries? Was it conditioning or lack of conditioning?
if you choose to use the word conditioning, right? If you back in our if you in the 90s, I don't know. I don't think these were really words that we use, because I think that probably that part of the science of the game was not very
The
evident.
knowledge of it.
Yeah, it was not very evident. If you, of course, now we talk about it, right? We could have done this, we could have done that. But I think then, yes, we had our physios and our trainers, but the science was not as evident, like I said, So yes, you can say that. And again, if on hindsight, if I look at it, right, it's probably I'm probably quite jaded because I have a job and I come training, and then that could have been would have played some part lah. Yeah.
So even when you were in the S League, which was a professional league at that time, you were on a part-time contract.
Yes, I was on a part-time contract.
Okay. How do you? Okay, this will be very interesting. How do you manage that then? You work 9 to 5, then you come to training.
Yeah. So no, I work. You can say that lah. Because initial years when I started at SPH, my role was not in HR. HR was after. That means after my first close to 10 years. So interestingly, in SPH we had a recreation club, which looks after the welfare of the staff. So at that, I was like coordinating and organizing activities, events for the staff, right? So the hours were a bit flexible, though we had structured hours, but there was flexibility for me to be released and all that. So I could go off for my training, like I said earlier. There was this arrangement even prior to me joining them. I already asked them if I were to go on further in football, will this be an issue? They said they gave me the blessing, and like I said, they honored what they told me, and nothing was difficult. But it's really about the discipline, because you got to, if you're training in the morning for some reasons, you train in the morning, and then yes, you go morning training, and then at that age, right, you're not affluent. You probably take the public transport, and then I need to wear office clothes, right? Professional office clothes. And then so some of them will also they tease me like, because I come in office wear, and then I change to sports, and then after that I change back to office, I go to work. So that's the very comical, but sustained. Managed to survive, and then glad to be done what I need to do during football and still hold a job for 32 years.
Were you ever offered a contract that made you think twice about holding a full-time job at SPH?
Actually, no, because my first so technically, if you're talking about even at national team, it was about they told me that since you have a job, you take a part-time contract. So that's at the national team, right? Then after that, when you go to S League also has a part-time contract, so there's no issues. So there was never a time where I needed to think so much. And most of the clubs, the remuneration was not bad back then. I'm talking about back then. The remuneration was not bad, and I think other than my first year with Balestier, which was not very lucky with my injuries, my second year with Woodlands, followed by Marine Castle, where I captained for 2 years, I had a very good run out during them. And you see, if I have a part-time contract, I play in the S League, I play regular. Actually, if you look at it, the coach would actually, wouldn't mind a part-time player playing in a regular position, right? So their budget is a bit safe, right, in that aspect, right? But so they could actually pay me a little bit better because for the fact that I'm a regular player, but I hold a part-time contract. So remuneration was decent. So there wasn't a difficult decision I had to make to switch to full time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Quite interestingly, because you had quite a history with Tanjung Pagar or Tiong Bahru at that point, and your first club was Balestier Central instead.
Yeah.
What was it like?
But I'm not sure
Like
if you remember.
why didn't you play for Tiong Bahru? Because
Okay,
they were
so
also in the S League.
I'm not sure if you're aware of this. So when the 94 team was disbanded in 95, so 94, we were supposed to go to 95
Yeah.
Malaysia Cup, we were dropped,
Basically,
remember?
yeah.
So at 95, we actually played as a team in the Singapore League,
Yes, correct.
right? And in 96, we started our own S League,
Mm.
right? 96, prior to starting, they decentralized the entire national team.
Okay.
And I don't know what was the system they devised, but players were allocated to the different clubs. And I ended up at Balestier Central. So there was no choice of mine. It's just me being allocated. And I was the only player to be allocated to Balestier.
Okay. And you lasted how long at Balestier Central?
Just 1 year.
Oh, just 1 year. And then next to
Woodlands.
what led to the move to Woodlands?
Because I was not playing enough at Balestier, I think they did not want to renew the contract. And then I think blessing is that I'm a part-time player, so there isn't a problem for clubs to sign, right? So Woodlands offered me, and then I signed Woodlands. And technically, part-time contracts are usually just a yearly kind of contract, so it doesn't tie you for too long a period.
Okay. And what was your time in Woodlands like?
Woodlands was very interesting because we had good players, good characters, right? We had Sundram there, we had Venga there. We had my good friends, players like Tamil Maran, Zakaria Wang. Yeah, so I had a good run actually at Woodlands. Only sad that while they wanted to retain me, I was already into the second year in the S League, right? It's the second year, but there was no change in remuneration. What motivates someone is there must be some
Incentive.
different. Yeah. So if I could be honest here, they told me that they want to renew my contract, but there were no change to the terms and conditions. The terms lah.
Okay.
So I said that that would be a bit difficult because I had to travel from Toa Payoh to Woodlands, and I told them actually it's because of the venue that I had to actually purchase a car to be early at the grounds and all that lah. So that didn't make sense with a car, and then you don't get enough. So I told them no, I will not take the offer. And then I was just waiting around. And if you remember, that's when Marine Castle got into the league in 1998. They were their first time into S League. And then some contacts, and then I joined them. Of course, they have trials and all that lah. So
You attended the trials and all?
Yeah, I attended trials. It was like open trial lah. Because I think they were coming in from NFL, so they had a set of players, and then I was a fresh one. Trials means like they already know lah, right, who's going to come and all that, right? But there will be others who would join, right? So it's more that, and then we had, and then I was the captain I was named the captain lah. I led
Logically,
the team. I don't know. There were other players, but I don't know. The coach chose me to lead the team, and that is one of the proudest year I had because I did not miss a single match. I don't know why. I
Must
didn't
be
miss
Hougang. Must be Hougang.
I didn't miss a single match. And one of the accolades I got was Player of the Year.
Wow, very good.
Yeah, at Marine Castle lah. I mean, as at Marine Castle, it's not the
Not the S League
S-League,
player of the
yeah,
year.
yeah,
Okay,
but
Marine
the
Castle player of the year.
Marine player, which is, I mean, in itself, regardless where it is, if the club recognizes, I think that
Yeah,
was
it's
good affirmation
it's
lah.
yeah, it's memorable. It's something that you should cherish.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that one lasted how long at Marine Castle?
I was there for about I went on to second year with Marine Castle. I was still captaining because naturally it's to continue, right?
Yeah.
And then I finished off at Marine Castle. Things didn't go well as it should have been in my second year there.
Why is that so?
Second year, for some reason, right, we would play really our hearts out.
Mm.
And we were still languishing at the bottom. You would be surprised. You can ask the crowd at Hougang is crazy, okay?
Yeah.
They're one of the best supporters. They really rah. And I still remember at my first year, we lost the match, if I'm not wrong. The crowd did not allow the referee and the two assistants to go home,
Wow.
And somebody actually rekindled that memory because they kind of remembered what happened. So then, like I said, I was a captain. So I even had to go up, and because my chairman said, "Hey, you better go and then take the mic and appease the crowd." So I actually had to tell the crowd, game's game, it's over. Then we just, disperse and let the officers go home. So you can imagine that. So, I'm a captain. You gave me, why are you named a captain, right? There's some leadership, there's some accountability, right?
Yeah.
Right? So second year, when things didn't go well, so the management was like, it's like an open dressing room talk, right?
Mm.
And then they were like, why are we doing badly, blah 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 blah, and then yeah, being very candid, yeah. So everybody was silent, right? Everybody's worried, right? I mean, as a captain, I put up and said, I think, why don't we ask ourselves, why are we here, right? It's not just the players, right? It's everybody, is a team, right?
Yeah.
But do we question, because when you play, every game like I said, the first year, I played every matches and I was working, right? You can imagine how tired that would be. I
Yeah.
still remember one match. The doctor advised me against playing. I was running a fever.
Oh.
I still remember I started the game, lasted 80 minutes. 80 minutes. I couldn't take it and they subbed me out. So when we players are giving you that, all we need is the management to reciprocate that in terms of the signings. When I say signings, I mean, we can't do much about locals, right? But I'm sure we can do something about, back then, there were,
Foreign players.
yeah, it's just coming from the same, seem to be just coming from the same group. I'm not sure, is it in Singapore, we call it insider trading, but I'm not sure whether is there insider, what you call it lah. Talent scouting lah. So it's just the standard was just diabolical lah. I think you put a local guy, you probably put a ball in the net for some converting chances, right? And this where foreigners was skying it, right? So you ask the team a question and nobody responds, and I open up. So that was the start lah. And then they don't know, in their perception, apparently I'm gang of the leader.
Okay.
And yeah, so they terminated my contract, and then
Oh,
just
immediately. They
not
terminated.
immediately after the saga, and then
Uh,
I think
that means you did not complete the season, your
they
second
didn't
season.
complete. I didn't complete the
Oh,
second season. It was probably halfway through.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
And did the club's fortunes change after you left?
I don't think so. Yeah, but the regret is that it was a club I really enjoy,
Mm.
and you have good teammates, and no big names, but we did have good African players
Mm.
the year before. Uh, uh, I think they had good stints in Nigeria and Ghana. I think one
Can
was
you
a
name them?
one was a Peter Enduka. I think he was a Nigerian youth captain.
Okay.
He missed out in the
94 squad.
something about going into the no he missed out in going into their
96 one.
World Cup team or something like that, Nigeria's World Cup team. So these
Yeah.
are good names, right? So but the year after is like it's just one or two, but I mean not to name the nationality, but it's just yeah.
Mm. You can name the continent they come from then.
Yeah, Europe.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. UK will be too close.
Yeah, lah, we know already.
Yeah, yeah. So it's yeah. So I thought it was a open chat.
Mm.
I'm the captain. I just voiced out what I need to, but if feedback is not welcome, then why even ask?
Yeah, yeah.
Just
You could.
reprimand us and then go. Let us go back. Don't
Yeah.
ask the players what's wrong. And when we talk, it doesn't matter whether it's a player's problem or it's a management's problem. If it's an open discussion, if something is wrong, we address it.
Mm.
If it was not really the problem of theirs, we just explain to the players, or even for me, to me separately, there's actually what you said is uncalled for, that's not what it is. I mean, there are many ways that things could be amicably settled, but they choose otherwise. But well, we learn, we grow.
Yeah. So from Marine Castle, you moved on to Jurong?
Jurong, yeah. So half season there's no football, right? So
Yeah.
I went on to. I didn't want to waste the chances. 96, 97, 98, and yeah, 99. I went on to half for a while. We had this amateur football as well, the NFLs. So I was with Sembawang for a short 3 months or so.
Okay.
Just Sembawang had their own vision. I don't know. They had a manager also really passionate about the game. The coach was Robin Chan.
Robin Chan. Okay.
NFL, no? NFL and Robin Chan was the coach. They were already a formed team. So I just went in right the last few months and then played for them. And then, if you remember, they used to have is it the Singapore Cup or something where they invite the
Oh,
non-S-League
okay,
teams?
okay, okay. I think
Yeah.
Singapore FA Cup probably.
So they invited. No. That means we play with the S-League.
Mm.
Yeah. So we were invited, and then
Yeah.
I played for them, and then because of the experience, it's easy playing against the S League, right? Because
Yeah.
you've always been in the league, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so that was just how I finished off the year, and then I got a few offers. Strange, huh? I got a few offers actually after that.
Mm.
And then Jurong was the one. I don't know. Sundram convinced me lah.
Which were the other clubs that offered you besides Jurong?
I think, if I'm not wrong, I can't remember, but I think if I'm not wrong, was I think Robert Albers was the coach of Home.
Home
If I'm
United.
not wrong, I think,
Yeah.
yeah. If I'm not wrong, I thought was a shot at that, but I don't know.
Mm.
Back then you will have every kind of story lah, about you should go here, you should not go here, or you
Mm.
shouldn't sign this player,
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's good or not for the football scene, but just take them in their merit lah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah. Anyway, um, Sundaram spoke to me, and I had I think I had good 3 years there.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And that's
And
where
that's where you retired?
I ended. Yeah, I ended there. Yeah.
Okay. Any trophies you won while you were with Jurong?
Jurong, we went on to not trophies, but we lost
You
in
went to the final, right?
we went to the finals, and we lost to Tampines.
Mm. Yeah.
And I think that's the year after that I retired from.
What's the reason behind your retirement?
Actually, that's also the time where I was transiting from my the club kind of role to HR. I went to pursue my the company offered me to pursue my studies, so they gave me they sponsored and gave me the time off to study and all that. So I thought
You went to Australia to study, right?
no, was in Singapore.
No.
Was in Singapore.
Oh,
Yeah.
was in Singapore.
In
Okay.
Singapore. So it was difficult because it's evening classes. I was playing. I'm going to transit. So the third year at Jurong was not the easiest because I'm doing courses, and then I had to play, transit, looking at a transition, right? Because it's not all about football, right? It's if you don't have a life after football, then you are stuck.
Yes.
And I already
You
have
have
a
to
job.
plan.
I already had a job, and I had the opportunity to cross from here to HR because it was the same management as in the boss. So I was offered that position, and I was only enhancing by pursuing a course that would make me better. So it was a difficult decision, but I thought I just did it, and yeah, that's 17 years
Wow.
plus in HR because after taking the course, I'm really a full-fledged HR practitioner.
How old were you when you retired?
That was about 30, slightly after 30, 31, 32, about there. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Now, in terms of players, who were some of the best players you played with in the S League?
Oh, if you remember in 96, right? I told you that the foreigners,
Yeah.
even in
What?
Balestier,
Yes.
the trio, right?
Yeah. The Croatian trio.
Oh, the Asa, the Marco, and Goran, Poli Goran, right? Oh my
Yeah,
God, their
Goran.
understanding is just remarkable. They just know and of course they speak their own language, right? So,
Yeah.
but fantastic understanding, fantastic football they play. That's my teammate, right?
Yeah.
Then you go to the pitch against the Ivica Ragus
Yeah.
and Yuri, what's that guy who played
Yuri
with me
Ellis.
Yuri Ares, the striker. That other guy in the midfield. He played with me in Jurong. The midfielder with Ivica. Yuri Ares is the striker, right?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
wow,
Correct.
shit, I can't remember this
I
guy.
can't remember now as
Wow,
well.
I tell you.
He was also a Serbian, a Yugoslav player.
Same. They are all together. Wow, I tell you, playing against them, it's a nightmare, bro. They're so talented. They can really mock you, man. Because that's why I said 96, 97, that era, right? 98. The footballers, the foreigners that opponents have, and you don't have it. That's the agitation you have, right? When you're
Yeah.
like I said at Marine Castle, right? You're playing against this guy, and here you got this guy, clear goal scoring opportunity. Sky said, right? So you just imagine how you feel, right? These opponents
Yeah,
are running circles around you, and
yeah. And you're trying hard to keep them out, and then you got an opportunity, you don't take it.
right. So these foreigners were really tough to play against, man. Whoa.
Any one local players now? Any local players that surprised you coming through youngsters at that time?
Oh. I mean, all during my era, I think the Liman Horns, Samavira, we played together, right?
Yeah, you
It's
play
it's
together,
good.
so
It's
it
good to
shouldn't
see
be a
all this.
surprise for you then.
It's but to see them, go even continue, even though I didn't continue, but they continued. Yeah.
Mm,
And our people. I mean, you're always happy for your fellow teammates.
yeah.
Despite the fact that maybe you didn't continue, but they continue because a few of them were slightly younger than us.
Mm,
So they continued because they probably had more runway, right, so to speak. Yeah. So yeah, I can only remember this offhand. I can't totally remember the others that could have. But if you're talking about seniors, then of course the 2 year mark
the two.
lah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
lah.
he
Correct.
playing with the national team. The tricks and treats he has. Sundram, the 3 years I was with him, amazing talent.
Mm,
Right, what you see him on a game is what he is at training. The
wow.
flicks, the tricks, the dribbles, just amazing. He doesn't do much, but enough, enough. He doesn't have to run a lot. But
Yeah,
this,
by that time he was already getting on in age as well.
yeah, but
Yeah,
superb, but
and
superb.
yeah,
Football,
Fandi as well, also already getting on in age.
but you don't, football is not the age.
Yeah,
Maybe now, yes, the game has got so fast. But back then, yes, you need, but
mm, correct.
football, you don't have this.
Cannot.
Don't play, you cannot lah. Because technique lah, technique.
Mm.
Technique,
And
the thing is about technique, right? It's a given. It's a given in the 90s or
yes, yes,
earlier.
yes, very
Okay?
true, very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
I can tell you, you put me even now, you throw any ball at me, the ball will be with us.
Mm.
And I can say that of the players around me, the cohort, because technique will never fail you. Lah.
Yeah,
But
correct.
I'm shy to say of what's happening probably this time, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
But that was then. That was then. Technique was the king. And which club would you say is closest to your heart?
Marine Castle and
Castle.
Jurong.
Okay.
And Jurong.
Mm. Now that they've transitioned to Hougang United, do you still follow their matches?
No, I actually don't follow the league after I
You left.
stopped. I stopped here and there, but not so much. And of course, once you get into that work life again, I think yeah. In fact, I'm people may call me weird. I don't even watch the other leagues, the Europeans and the EPLs, and actually I don't even subscribe.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess it's very different when you're a full-time footballer. You probably I don't want to use the word luxury, but you may have the luxury of time here, where you probably train and you the rest of the day you got time. Right? But for us, it's about work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you being a professional, you probably know we it's about that clocking that office hours, right? So it's very difficult. When you want to watch the night, you were like, oh, next day I got to work, man. I got meetings to attend to. So it's very different.
Okay. Hostile grounds. You talked about the Hougang fans, but I remember the Woodlands fans were also legendary. Even Jurong FC's fans were known to be quite a bunch.
Yeah. When I say hostile, they're nice to your team, lah. Right?
On your side, lah. Yeah. They created a hostile atmosphere for the opponents.
Yeah. Woodlands 1 year, so I can't tell. But Jurong, yeah, it's crazy.
Mm.
Jurong is like I wouldn't say the crowd is there not for I mean though I'm part of the team, I wouldn't say that the crowd is there for the team only, or rather the team as a whole. They are there because of Sundram.
Sundram, right? Yeah.
He's, like I said, what we see him at training is what he delivers at the pitch. It's
Hmm.
like for him it's another training session lah.
Yeah.
He's
Class.
just different class lah.
Hmm.
So glad
Have
lah
you-
to have played with him.
yeah, that's fantastic, man. Great honor for you to have played with so many legends. In fact, even in the '94 team and
Oh, of course.
the
I
S
mean,
League and all that. Going back to your childhood, you mentioned about Farrer Park, so I guess that's where you got your grounding. But were you brought up in that area?
yeah, I grew up there lah. I grew up from the Farrer Park. Just few
You're
streets
staying
away
there?
from. Yeah, I was just staying away, just few streets away from Farrer Park. So it's just walking distance to the field, and
Dorset Road and all that, is it?
yeah, just open, just next. Yeah. So it's
Okay.
like yeah, and my brothers didn't. I mean, they focus on studies, but they didn't stop me from playing.
Were they the ones that introduced you to football?
Yes. So it's like this, right? So I used to before Farrer Park. Sorry, now the gone Saint Wilfred. Saint Wilfred. Before Saint Wilfred, I think the field was called BOD. So it's like it's where our highway is now, right?
Yes,
It's a field that was between, I think, Whampoa and St. George's. It was that pitch. That is where I technically started when I was very young. So I would follow my brothers for all the football, and then they would just put me on top of the ball and sit down and just watch them lah. That's how you pick up.
Okay.
And then you just grew that interest from there lah. Just watching, and then start to play a little. So that's where I started. But when we moved to Farrer Park, and then that's where I started playing with the other guys.
Okay. And at that point of time as well, like I guess there was heavy emphasis on education at home.
My brother one particular brother was very strict.
Okay.
About my education, to ensure that I stayed on track in studies. So getting a report card was quite nightmare lah. Yeah, because you don't know what's waiting at home, right? And then here you still like to play football, and
So he takes the role of your parents then, in
yes,
that sense.
he did. Yeah, he did. And he's proud lah. He's proud that he did it, and I'm grateful that he did it, because if I just focus on one, I don't know whether I would be who I am now. When I'm talking about is in terms of being established a career, and at least having a good go at football as well, pursue my interest. But at least I still hold a job. That
Which schools do you study in?
I spent many years in Bartley. So I was
Bartley, alright.
Bartley. So I was there in secondary,
Okay.
and then my primary is no more around, defunct. That was Jew Avenue Primary, because I was living near Farrer Park, right? So that's Jew Avenue, and then I went on to Bartley Secondary, and then I moved on to Bartley Pre-U. Back then,
Preview. Bartley had a preview. Okay.
Pre-U, yeah. So back then we had that 2-year or 3-year program, right?
Yeah. I remember.
Yeah.
3 year, I remember.
Yeah. So
Pre-U was 3 years.
Pre-U.
JC was 2 years.
Yeah. So the smarter ones will do 3 years, lah. Right. Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah. So now
Just
you know
like
about
in secondary school, the smarter ones will do 5 years.
Yeah. But I happen to do the 4th.
Not as smart.
So
then.
not that smart. So that's got to do with my brother, lah. He ensured I did the 4. Yeah. So it's very tough, but yeah. So that was my school in Bartley. So I had good years at Bartley.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You play for the school teams when you were
Of
in
course, of
primary
course,
school?
of course, of
All
course,
right.
of course. Yeah. Well, again, like I said, the transition was very sudden. Like
Mm.
up to in the secondary, right? Because when you're in sec one, sec two, you are still young. You don't compete with too much of a senior, right? So you still manage to play in the first team. But the moment you go to B division, right, you suddenly like not part of the in the 11, you're just sitting outside and just watching as a reserve, right? So so it's like you're not very good in the game. Then after the 17 18 suddenly, I start going to Farrer Park, playing with the bigger guys, getting the exposure, because um so many were involved in football, right? So they will have their own social leagues and all that, right?
Uh-huh.
So, but the social leagues are comprising of the NFL players.
Mm.
So when you play with them, just I don't know, just that 1 2 years, suddenly I grew taller, I got better. It's quite a transition, I must say.
Mm.
That is where I really learned the ropes of the game.
Mm.
If not for
And
these brothers.
I got to say this as well. At that point in time when you were playing, right, in 90s and all, you
Mm.
were quite known for your mustache.
Oh,
What happened then?
I don't know. It just probably I lost it along the way lah. I don't know.
Change
I
of
mean,
look,
it's
I
just
guess.
just change of look. Yeah.
All right. So no particular reason why
No,
you
no,
shaved it off then.
no. Probably the first one who despised that would be my spouse lah.
Uh,
But I
she didn't
think
she didn't enjoy the mustache
they
version of you.
she enjoyed the mustache probably initially.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
really?
yeah. So
Okay.
she despised it that I changed, right? But
Uh,
over the years, I think she took a
she's got
liking lah.
used to it now, lah. Yeah.
I would say took a liking lah.
Yeah. Had to. Now, one last question before we
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
There has been a distinct lack of Indian footballers
Mm,
nowadays playing in the S League.
mm.
Do you know any reason why possibly this has happened?
I I would start it from the general view that parents have,
Mm.
let alone Indians, right? Because generally, um, I'm not sure if you have a child, and like
I do.
if I have a son, I'm
Mm.
not sure whether I would ask my son to pursue something like a sport like football. That's generally the consensus, especially when you're in the workforce and you know what it takes for you to be established, right? So
Survive
I'm
as
not,
well.
yeah. And the thing is that it's good to have a sport, right? But
Yeah.
that's not the only thing, right? So a career is so important, right? So in order to carve out that career, you really need that at least a degree now lah.
Mm.
Or I would say not now. Back then, degree is like important, right? So if you do a paper chase, and how many of us are actually equipped to do both? So that's generally the feel I have, right? Then of course, nothing's going to be different for a Chinese or Indian or Malay, right? It's generally that would be the top thought process for any parent, right?
Yeah.
But for those parents, of course, if they know that, hey, I don't have that, I think this boy would succeed in sports, let him pursue. We are getting more liberal probably now.
Yeah.
But so I won't say just Indian per se, but I think generally, we all know, right? Yes, it's more Malays are playing the game.
Yeah.
The Chinese and the Indians are lacking. So I would answer that in totality. But of course, as an Indian, I would think, yes, we're lacking. One is the emphasis on education, probably. And I think they also have got too many varied interests available.
Nowadays, yes. Nowadays, yeah.
Yeah.
Compared to our time.
Ours is, hey, your phone call is like, hey, what are you doing? Yeah, I'm going to the field, right? Hey, okay, I'll meet you there, right?
Yeah.
It's only about football, right? Or studies,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We don't
Football
have
studies, correct.
we don't have we don't, okay lah, maybe, if as a guy you would have your girlfriend, like, okay, no, it's okay. But we don't talk about going to movies, going to arcades. If you're in that track, right, it's only about these two, right?
Yeah.
It's nothing else. But if you ask a child now, he has spectrum of things he could do, So that's, I would point to that lah. But and I think the other is the many guys are, I mean, I noticed that I don't know whether is it Indian specific, but they play a lot of futsal.
Five side.
The futsal, right? The smaller sided games,
Correct.
and they seem very good in that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got my coaching certificate, so I kind of realized that not all of them who play in the futsal are good in the
11 aside.
Yeah, they are. They are. So, and I think they like playing in a smaller environment, and their fellow friends are just there. It is the camaraderie built, but they could have brought the camaraderie to a different level lah, but they just seem to just be focused in where they like, and they just stay there, right?
Yeah.
So that's also a reason why we don't see much. But you can see a lot of Indians at futsal if you notice.
Yeah.
They are playing the game. They are playing the game, but they're playing at the wrong. That's not so popular. Like I mean, I'm not sorry to say to the futsal guys, but it's not at the national stage, so to speak now, right? I mean, so yet, right? But if they had brought the game to maybe 11, I would think more would be there. And I don't know whether they have that bandwidth to go for trainings and all that lah.
Yeah.
That's a lot,
That's something correct. The discipline as well.
Yeah, it's this kind, you just go on a Saturday and Sunday, or just go and spend your whole day, and that's it, right? You win, you continue, you lose, you tap out and go, and then go to another court and start playing your own game, right? So
Yeah.
but 11 is not like that, right? You really need to prepare and whatnot. So to answer your question, I think these are.
I forgot this question as well.
Sure.
On coaches. Who are some of the best coaches you worked with?
So if you're talking about national team, I would say prior to national, of course, I have to, if not for Sivaji, I don't think I would be where I am, right? In terms of football, right? Because he's the one who gave me the opportunity. So he's number one, right? Then we're talking about national team, right? I would say Douglas Moore and Coach Douglas Moore and Barry. Two different characters.
Oh, okay.
Coach Douglas is very little talk. Very he reads the player's mind.
Huh?
He knows the players have got quality. He will think that if it's not necessarily a day for you to train, the guys are tired, he can just, okay, you do something light and then you go off. If that was done by probably a local coach, you are going to be shot with many questions, I believe. but he got away. Yeah. So, but we won the league, right? The doubles actually. Yeah. Coach Barry is a bit different. He is very with you. He's like serious on the pitch, fun outside the pitch. I think he was also younger. So I had good time with Coach Barry.
Okay.
Yeah, as a coach on and off the pitch lah.
All right.
And then of course
what about
S-League? S-League, of course. First year I was with Robin Chan. I like coaches who are able to execute what he wants out of the player. So if you remember just now, we were discussing the technique part, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm still for coaches who can show the player what he wants. Maybe not, I mean, I'm not talking about a certain age lah, but I think at that playing time, I think he should be able to do that lah. You really get a lot of respect from the players. That's what I feel. So like Robin Chan, right? He may be not at his best of health back then. Even as big, he was not the smallest, right? But
Yeah.
with a free kick, right? We call him Kochi lah. So you see him, he talk, and then he like frustrated. Right? He said, "Hey, this is what I want you to do." Right? He will do it, huh? So like, hey, this guy really, man. Of course with the belly and all that, but he's awesome, right? Of course, it's set piece, but you can see, right?
The technique is still there.
Yeah, him. Of course, Sundram was player coach, right? So
Yeah.
Sundram. So I would say this guy, and I would like to emulate that as a coach myself, because when I was taking the youth, sometimes you don't, you just instruct, right? And then they would think, who's this guy, like, instructing me? Young ones, sometimes they wouldn't have known you in the 90s.
As a player.
They don't know, right? Then they are like only 17, right? You're taking them, right? Then okay lah, you're a coach, I listen to you lah, because I was assisting, right? So then two sides, sometimes you got not enough players, and the coach will say, hey Ramoo, can you join the team, right? Then when you play, right, then like, hey coach, I didn't know you can play like it, so the next day, right, training is different.
They start listening to you.
You start listening, and then when you want to do certain set pieces, and then you get, honestly, sometimes you get frustrated lah, because they can't execute what you want them, right? And then you say, stop, and then you show them like they're stunned, right? So this is what I feel, my respect to coaches.
They show they show what they want, and they can deliver it as well. Yeah.
And I can be proud to say I will be able to do that lah. Even now.
Fantastic. Do you still coach?
I actually stopped during the COVID. Because COVID, everything stopped, right? And then I stopped, and then I never returned.
Okay.
Work got busier. I never returned. But some things are in the offerings. So let's see.
Oh, all right.
Let's see what.
We'll see. We'll see. Okay. All right. It's been a good chat, long chat, and you shared extensively as well. Open your heart out to us. We appreciate you coming on the show as well, and accepting the invitation. I always ask my guests who you would like us to interview next.
Oh, okay.
Do be mindful that most of your 94 teammates we have interviewed.
Okay.
Yeah. So this one got to be a bit more off the books, maybe.
Okay. If you say 94, I don't think you've done V Savraj.
No, that's one I've not done. Yes.
Yeah. So you asked me for a name. Why don't you try? I'm not sure it's going to be an easy game, but you always game on, right? So
maybe I'll send him this clip if you can. I need his number though, so if you can hook me up.
Yeah, let me see if I can let you know. I don't know whether he's going to be upset with me after this. But
okay.
Yeah, but to whoever is in your viewing list, I just want to say that I've been as candid as I would like to, but with no ill intention to hurt anyone. Just because you asked me, I just thought it's good to be candid. But if I hurt anyone, I'm sorry, but nothing was meant with any ill intention. Yeah.
Okay. And if there's anyone listening and watching that needs a job, can they get in touch with you?
I mean, I like I said, I'm a HR practitioner. I work for a company. I don't run a company. But on that question, of course, they can come to me, and I've also helped others in my course of football to get employment at my company.
Nice.
So helping one another, it goes a long way lah.
So, goes a long way, yes, indeed. Yeah, that's how the society, it mends the society in a way, especially in the world we're living today.
Yes. So no issues. Yeah, they must have their credentials lah, and
Yeah.
I believe credentials speak for itself lah. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Mr. T. Ramoo, thank you very much
Thanks, Rash.
for your time.
Thank you so
And
much
this-
for having me today.
My pleasure. And this is me, Ras, signing out. Bye bye. Good night. Good night here, but I don't know whenever you're listening into this, it might be good morning, good afternoon, whenever it is. Greetings of the day for you. That will be more exclusive, or rather more inclusive. All right. Ciao and have a good one. Bye bye.